Exterior on the ocean day. Michael Ernest Beekman sits in a rubber raft. He's eating from a small tin can. He scrapes the inside of the can with his fingers and eagerly eats the tiny pieces. He raises the tin can to his lips and slurps the juice from the can. He wipes his lips and licks his fingers. Michael looks at the empty can. He again attempts to scrape anything from the empty can. He looks out at the empty ocean, then at the can. He flings the can into the ocean, then slumps back on the raft. As he lays on the raft, he raises both arms up and forms his hands into fist. He screams an inaudible sound, lowers his hands, covers his face, wiping his face up and down. After a moment, he collapses his arms to his sides.
What's the point of screaming? If a man screams in the ocean and no one is around, does he make a sound? Can you hear me? Maybe this is the proof. You can't, because you do not exist. You do not exist.
Michael is startled by the tin can landing from the ocean back on the raft. He straightens up, staring at this can. He slowly reaches for the can. He gingerly picks it up and examines it. As he is holding it, he looks up at the sky.
This is it? This is your proof?
He flings the can back out to the ocean.
Well, what have you got to say now?
Again, the can returns to the raft. Michael sits staring at the can.
A comedian. God's a comedian. This is just one big joke, isn't it? The whole damn thing is just one hilarious punchline. You sit up there kicking us when we're down and laugh. Well, go ahead and laugh. But I'm not keeping your can on my raft.
Michael grabs the can and tosses it with all his might into the ocean.
How you like that? Who's laughing now?
The can returns. Michael grabs it and stands up to toss it back.
I can play this game all day.
A game? What game this is?
With one hand on the outside of the raft, Catherine Bantus emerges from the water.
I not like this game.
Michael steps back, almost stumbling out of the boat. He managed to fall to the back of the raft.
This new game? You hide from me.
Michael slowly raises up to his head is just above the sides of the raft.
Now see you. What game this? Not game. I hope you know play. Pitch the garbage again. Good. Not good to toss garbage on my home.
Your home? Where's your home?
Down below, silly.
You live down there?
Where else?
That's not possible.
It not? You sure?
Catherine slips below the water. As she swims down, Michael sees a glimpse of a scaly tail behind her. Michael grabs the side of the raft and stares into the splash. Catherine leaves behind her.
Funny, I live here my whole life. How long you live here? Well,
Well, what?
how long you live here?
What? Live here? I don't live here.
No. So where your home?
Where it is, I don't know. Because I don't know where I am.
Catherine dives under the water. She pops up on the other side.
I know where I be, 'cause I always here.
But how? How can you be here? In the middle of nowhere? How can you possibly live under the sea?
I not understand question.
I've lost it. My mind is gone. I'm talking to a mermaid.
Siren,
What?
siren. I not mermaid. Mermaids no exist.
And sirens do?
Well, I do be here.
Not if I'm delusional.
Are you?
I must be.
I never met delusional. I never heard delusion. Where is it?
It's more a state than a nation.
Where state?
In my mind. In my deepest, darkest recesses.
Then you know where you find it. Okay. Have nice day.
No, wait, don't go!
No shout. I hear very good.
I'm sorry. It's just, I could use some help.
What you need for help?
I need help getting home.
Then go. Go deepest, darkest recesses.
I have gone there. It didn't help. You see, my home is Malibu. I sailed from there on my yacht 2 weeks ago. It was only supposed to be a 3-hour cruise.
And you enjoy so much. You go on 2 weeks. How lovely. But this vessel, no yacht.
No, the orcas attacked my yacht. This raft saved me from the fire.
What fire?
Oh, the fire on the yacht. I'm not sure why, but when the orcas rammed my yacht, the engine blew up and started a fire.
Orcas, I understand. They much more territorial these days. But what is fire?
Mm. Uh, Fire is fire. It burns things. Things heat up, and if they get very heated up, fire starts. Don't you use fire?
I not know it.
Hmm. Oh, well, I guess if you live in the ocean, you couldn't have a fire. Water puts fires out.
But not yacht in all this water.
No, no, it happened too quickly. I barely had time to get off with some food and water. The food is all gone, and the water is almost gone.
You wish food.
I wish food.
I help with that.
Catherine dives beneath the water. Michael leans over the raft as she disappears beneath the ocean.
Mirage. It has to be a mirage. I am visiting the land of delusion.
Catherine reemerges and tosses two fish into the raft. Michael stares at the live, flopping fish on the bottom of the raft.
Is enough?
Enough? They're alive.
Very fresh. You like?
I usually cook my fish. I never got used to sushi.
Cook fish. What cook fish? Who's who? She.
Well, we see. We heat it up with fire. First we kill it, then we cook it. Except maybe Japanese, they eat it raw. That's sushi.
Funny. I eat sushi my whole life. I don't know this. But fire destroy yacht. Why you want fire?
I'm sorry, but they're still flopping around. I can't eat live fish.
No problem. I fix.
Catherine leans into the raft and grabs a fish, quickly bites the head off. Then she hands the body back to Michael. Michael takes the fish while he watches Catherine chewing the fish head down.
Best part. Very fresh. Juicy. You eat now. Hmm?
It's actually, it's actually quite good. I mean, maybe it's because I'm starving, but it's very tasty.
Tasty. Good. You like. You eat. I go.
No, please don't go. It's so lonely out here. I want to thank you for helping me. But I'm afraid it's only postponed the inevitable. See, if I don't get off this ocean soon, I'm afraid I will die.
Michael, what you need now?
A boat, a ship, someone to sail me back to Malibu.
Not easy. I call one to here.
Call one? How can you call a ship to here?
I sing, and ship come. Sailors like my voice.
No, you can't sing!
Yes, I can. Listen, I very good.
No, I've heard about the Song of the Siren. Men go crazy. You lure them to their deaths.
I sing nice song. No kill anyone. Why I kill anyone?
The stories I've read, men jump into the ocean when hearing a siren song. Then the siren eats them.
This disgusting I eat from the ocean, not out of it. What stories talk about me? Not nice. You toss garbage in my home. And what I do, I help you. I feed you. I get shit when I try eat you.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's all I know. Up till today, I thought it was all fairy tales. I do appreciate what you've done and that you want to help. But I can't take the risk. If it's all the same to you, please don't sing. I'll continue to take my chances without the serenade.
You no want some. I no sing. You float here. I go.
Thank you again for the fish.
Michael slumps back on the raft and closes his eyes. After a moment, his eyes open. He cocks his head in one direction, then slowly raises his head.
Humming. Something's humming.
He straightens up and stares out into the ocean.
She's singing. I knew it. It's true. She wants me to jump in. She wants to eat me. No. No, I'm not going to jump. Not today.
He leans towards the bow of the raft and cocks his head toward the sound.
It's actually nice. Like a lullaby. Peaceful. It's strangely desirable. It's beautiful.
Michael leans more towards the edge of the raft, straining to hear the song. Abruptly, he almost stands up, staring out at the horizon.
What's that? What is that? It's a boat. Yes, it's a boat coming this way. Over here! Over here! Over here! Yes. Oh, yes. She did it. She called them. She was real.
Well done, well done.
Thanks, Mike.
Cornflower, written by Tasmin Jahan. Late morning. Mrs. Trench, in her late 60s, is greeted by Don, who cheerfully delivers her food box. Today, she appears irritable.
Good morning, Mrs. Trench. I'm a little early with your delivery today. I hope you don't mind. How are you?
You don't look like Sam. Where's Sam? He normally brings my food deliveries. He promised he'd see me in 2 weeks' time, meaning today. Is he sick?
My name is Don, and I have no idea if Sam is sick or otherwise.
Fuck.
Excuse me?
I know what's happened here. You must have the wrong delivery address. I'm right, aren't I?
Are you not Mrs. Trench of 79943 Floack Street?
When I'm conscious, most of the time, yes.
Then I have the right address. Head office are very thorough before dispatch. We have strict guidelines, daily targets to meet, so if you could please sign for this.
Sam's been delivering my food box for the last 6 months now. He's so nice and friendly and caring in so many ways. You're nothing like him. I feel so sad. You've taken him away from me.
I'm disappointed that you feel this way, Mrs. Trench, but I'm just here to do my job, so please let me do it. Once you've signed for your food box, I will be on my way.
So, did you pack the corn flour?
Yeah, let me check for you. I can't see it.
Sam, what have you done to me?
What do you mean?
Sam, Sam knows how much I like cornflour.
Right.
The cornflower makes me so happy, so alive. I never really enjoyed life because of other people getting in the way of my joy and happiness. There's so many people I hate, but I won't get into that now. I just want to forget the pain, you know?
So what do you do with this cornflower? Why is it so important to you?
You promise on your life that you won't tell no one?
Mrs. Trencher, you can trust me. I'm here to help.
If you tell your company about this, I will find you and kill you with my shotgun. Do we understand each other?
As I'm in this compromising situation, I must say I am curious to know what Sam's been up to. I agree to your terms, even though I may live to regret it.
So, would you like a delicious, liberating cookie? It's made with the cornflower.
I've never had a delicious, liberating cookie before.
Well, today's the day then.
Mrs. Trench, are you by any chance referring to drugs?
Keep your voice down. I don't do drugs. I'm simply an admirer of drugs. It's just a different interpretation.
That means Sam's a dealer?
He's not a dealer. He's a very kind and caring person.
He's still a drug dealer, Mrs. Trench.
Oh, what the fuck? Don, stop being so arrogant.
Yeah, I resent that remark.
Well, how can't you see that I am a person in need?
Could I please just take this food box in for you? I have been instructed to take it into your kitchen as you have a bad back.
I know that I have a bad back, but I want to make sure first that you won't get Sam into trouble over this.
I don't like Sam. As a work colleague, he's a lazy ass. He just clocks in and clocks out without considering other colleagues around him.
He's not a lazy ass. Stop calling him names. You should be ashamed of yourself. You don't know everything about him.
How long have you been dealing with him?
That's classified information. I can't share that with you, Donald.
It's Donovan, actually, not Donald.
You know, I don't want my food box no more. You can take it back.
What's the matter now?
You really want to know? Well, the doc said I need a fucking knee replacement. And my glands are swollen again because I've been planting stuff in my backyard. My overactive bladder is attempting Formula One speed now, so I'm wearing a fucking adult diaper. Otherwise, you'd have a pool of warm urine by your feet right now. Don, have you ever worn an adult diaper before?
No, not to my recollection.
Well, you're a lucky bastard. They're really uncomfortable, especially around the groin area. They make me look fat as well, but
What happened?
I just gracefully pissed into my diaper. It's very strange, but satisfying feeling doing it in front of someone.
Oh, I wish I never asked. Mrs. Trench, it's getting late, and
I'm picking up a negative vibe, Donald, and I really don't like it.
It's Donovan.
I'll have to move now. I have to sell this house and take Chihuahua with me to a more secluded place.
So you live here with your dog?
Dog? Who said anything about a dog? Chihuahua is my pet hamster. I always said that I'd give my hamster a special name, so I chose Chihuahua. Anyway, it's about time I sold this place. It's too big for me now. Too much cleaning to do, and yesterday's rain was coming in through the roof. I've got 4 buckets collecting the water. My husband used to help me with this kind of stuff, but God knows where the fuck he is. Maybe he's in jail. Such a fucking loser. He never really cared about me.
Well, why would he be in jail?
Because he misses his friends who are also fucking losers.
So when you say you'll move to a more secluded area, which area were you talking about?
Maybe I'll go to hell. Who knows? At least for now. When I come out here, I can look up at that blue sky and think for a moment that there's a point to my existence while I empty my bladder. After having 5 fucking children who don't bother visiting me, I'm so glad that my overactive bladder and your food deliveries keep me company. Well, at least Sam did.
What a predicament for you.
Do you still want a delicious liberating cookie?
Why are they liberating cookies?
Don't you ever feel that life is just passing you by? And even though you wanted to do so much with your life, in the end, those who you trusted the most just cheated on you and used you like fucking dirt so they could be selfish and achieve their own goals. It's so fucking unfair, right?
Sometimes, I guess.
You're catching my frequency now. Good. Once you taste these cookies, the pain will vanish into thin air. They're the best cookies in the world.
I don't really eat while I'm on duty, but thank you anyway.
So, you're scared of the truth?
No, I'm just a little concerned about the law.
Oh, super fuck. Why'd you have to bring the law into this?
Mrs. Trench, are you high right now?
I'm just being friendly and honest with you.
And this cornflower is making you act this way?
You want me to die all alone, don't you?
Of course not. So, do you want me to leave the food box on your doorstep? I have other deliveries, so I must make a move.
Have you finished judging me yet?
Never crossed my mind. I would be most grateful if you could sign for your delivery, and we'll just forget about the rest.
I'll sign if you have one of my delicious liberating cookies.
Honestly, no, thank you.
Why won't you eat one of my cookies? I don't like rejection.
Management won't allow us to eat while on duty. They're strict.
You should tell your manager to fuck off. The stupid fucking rules.
Look, Mrs. Trench.
Are you the fucking CIA? You've got that look about you. Are you delivering my food box as an undercover agent? Is that why Sam's not here?
Mrs. Trench, I do not work for the CIA. I'm just a delivery person for a local company.
Are you gonna arrest me? If I go to jail, who's gonna look after the house? And Chihuahua?
I'm not here to arrest you.
If you come near me, I'll fucking scream my head off. Oh.
Mrs. Trench, are you feeling faint? Can you hear me? Mrs. Trench? Mrs. Trench? Mrs. Trench, can you hear me? Mrs. Trench? Mrs. Trench, it's Sam. I'm a little early with your delivery today. I hope you don't mind. Sorry for disturbing you during your nap time.
Oh, Sam, I'm so happy to see you.
I've got the stash with your order, and because you're one of my special customers, I've got 2 extra packets of corn flour just for you.
You're my savior. I don't know what I'd do without you. I made some delicious liberating cookies for us.
Ooh, I can't wait. So how's things?
Well, before you arrived, I had a terrible dream. Do you happen to work with anyone called Don?
Well done, you guys. That was brilliant. Oh, I had to hold it all in. I couldn't laugh out loud.
It's so fun, Tasman.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much to everyone.
HRAR. Location: Kristen's office is clean and sterile. There is a foreboding feel to the space. Time is present. At Rise, Kristen sits at her desk typing. Beth enters and sits in the chair in front of the desk.
I'm Beth Holstrom.
Why are you here?
My annual review.
Just a moment.
Kristen continues typing as Beth waits, fidgeting. The phone rings and Kristen answers it.
Kristen? Yes, he was. 47 minutes ago. If he wants to put in a claim, he can do so at 5 o'clock today. I understand why he's angry. No, the decision to terminate is final. Anything else? Thank you.
Kristen hangs up and looks at her computer.
You're pregnant.
6 weeks to go. Can't wait so I can have a glass of wine.
I know the feeling. I have 2 kids of my own.
I see here that you have a spotless performance record.
That's a pleasant surprise. Yeah.
You will be receiving a 6% salary increase come January 1st.
It's nice to be appreciated.
Yes, it is.
I was so nervous about this meeting. Now I'm relieved.
This can be a stressful experience. I know.
Oh my God, yes. Did you know what sex?
What's this have to do with sex?
Is it a boy or a girl?
A boy.
Bet your husband's happy about that.
I just need you to sign this. It's standard procedure. Nothing to be concerned about. We've implemented some new policies to stay current with state and federal employment statutes. You are simply complying with what is already accepted practice in HRAR.
Okay.
Thank you. Do you have any questions or concerns? Anything you say in HRAR is held in strict confidence.
Why is it called HRAR? I know what HR is, but what's AR?
Good question, and one of our biggest changes. HR is, of course, human resources, but now it includes artificial resources as well. Hence the moniker HRAR.
Is that anything like AI?
There's a lot of misconceptions about AI, that it's going to take over the world or acquire human consciousness. Neither are ever going to happen. They're not possible.
Just in horror movies, right?
Exactly. Artificial resources like artificial intelligence is computer simulated intelligence. It's not real, but looks realistic to most people.
Like playing a game against a computer.
Yes. Technically, it's a parsing routine along with a set of function calls that concatenate a response for every conceivable input provided by a user.
Sounds complicated.
That's how my IT husband explains it. I don't understand it. He loves talking about string manipulation and speech pattern selection. Whatever that means.
Too much information.
He doesn't speak like a normal person.
I know the type, always mansplaining.
So, do you have any grievances to report? Anyone you find difficult, or how do I phrase this gently? Unproductive.
Not really.
As I said, anything you say here stays here. Nobody will ever know, so you won't get in trouble for telling me something in private about a problem employee. The company wants to create a sense of camaraderie in its workforce, so you will be helping us. Frankly, this level of honesty is seen as a positive mark on your personal HAR record.
There is one person who I feel needs help. Yeah, well, I find her difficult to work with. She complains a lot. I told her how to do something the other day, and she was so ungrateful. You know the type.
What is her name?
Uh, Patricia Smith.
I see.
Have she had any other complaints against her? Honestly, I'd be surprised if she hadn't.
She filed a complaint last week against you.
What? I thought you said I had a spotless record.
She says you often try to explain things condescendingly, as though speaking to a child. You're dismissive, curt, and act as though you know everything when you don't first look at all the available evidence at your disposal.
It's not true.
Beth, there have been complaints about you from several other people at different times, saying nearly the exact same thing. One says you are controlling. The other says you belittle people in order to appear in control.
Who would say such things?
Do you challenge these accusations?
Oh, you bet I do. I wonder if they're not conspiring to make me some sort of scapegoat.
That is certainly a possibility to be considered. Do you maintain that none of this is true then?
Yes, of course. It isn't true.
You should know one of the complaints is from Craig Nemitz.
Craig and I don't always see eye to eye, but I wouldn't have thought he would file a complaint against me.
You do understand that these are very serious charges, and you need to address them calmly and thoroughly.
I only explain things to Patricia because she's so cavalier about everything. She makes me so angry at times. I explain it, but she doesn't respond. So I simplify it to make it easier for her tiny little head to grasp.
I see.
Oh, that sounded more bitchy than intended.
Look at this from my perspective. You have 3 very similar complaints from 3 people in different departments. A managing director is one of them, and he has asked that you be put on probation for 2 months. What would you do in my position?
I don't understand. I thought there were no complaints.
The new policies that you signed allow me to put your mind at ease in order to compel you to speak more freely.
In other words, you tricked me.
Beth, I wouldn't go so far as to say I tricked you, but I wanted to put you into a more relaxed state so I could get to the bottom of this situation.
Everyone's out to get me. That's it, right? Lord, what a day this is becoming.
Nobody is out to get you, Beth. If after 2 months things do not improve, however, I will be forced to terminate your employment. You've been with the firm for 22 years, so we will provide a very respectable exit package that includes help with your transition.
You are firing me?
You have 60 days to improve, and I am here to help you through it. Should you be unwilling to make the necessary improvements in the allotted time frame, then you will need to consider whether you wish to continue working here.
I can't believe this.
We greatly appreciate your commitment to the firm, but in an effort to make sure everyone is performing at peak effectiveness, we are putting you on temporary probation. There is now strong evidence to suggest these complaints are in fact true, so I do need to address them.
If you weren't pregnant, I would tell you where to stick your commitment to the firm. This is an outrage.
We're done here.
We're not done. I'm gonna sue you. Sue the firm. These are unsubstantiated lies. Do you understand that?
You need to leave, or I will be forced to call security.
I didn't mean to.
Gets up and goes to the door. She is going to say something, but thinks better of it and exits. Kristen picks up the phone.
She's been told, but didn't take it well. Yes, threatening behavior. If I weren't pregnant, I will have a security escort her off the premises. Yes, I will send her the exit package via email in a few minutes. Thank you, Mr. Nemitz.
Kristen types into her computer, then sits back. Beth storms back in and glares at her.
There's something I need to say to you, and it can't wait. Why did you make me feel safe in my job before pulling the rug out from under me like that? Whether it's some new HR procedure I signed off on or not, it's inhuman. You said I had a 6% raise coming in January, which you had no intention of giving to me, did you? Did you? I can't believe you get my hopes up just to shoot me down. What kind of a person does something like that? Who the hell do you think you are? Kristen, do you hear me? I'm talking to you.
String overload. Unable to process your response. Baker, Apple, Delta.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's so good.
I love that look on your face at the end. It's great.
Oh, it's so good. So well done, too.
Well done, well done. That was
Rick,
really
well done.
Lights up on Whitman, who is lying in bed.
Oh, oh no.
Mama enters the stage.
I'm trying to work. What are you griping about now?
Coffee, Mama.
Now, Whitman, you know how that works for you.
I had a bad day, Mama. I need something to make me feel better.
You always have bad days. Besides, you know what coffee does to you?
Mama!
I'm not talking about the usual side effects of caffeine, nausea, headaches, and such.
People can handle that.
You're right, Whitman. People can't, but you just aren't any people. You're
Sick. Blind.
special. I'll get you tea instead.
Oh, I hate that, Mama. Why do you have to give me something I hate?
It's good for you. Whitman, you know I love you, but I wish you'd stop.
I'm blind, Mama.
Your legs and arms still work.
I'm sick, Mama.
Because you don't try to get better. I've tried to encourage you, but you just...
I don't want to be encouraged.
And your mouth still works too. Wow, you won't let me forget that.
But Mama,
I'll never forget those good old days back before.
before I became sick, back when I was normal, back when you'd give me things I love like coffee.
I wish you would stop saying that. You know I love you.
Doesn't seem so.
I wish you'd learn some self-sufficiency, something other than laying in that bed, moping around all day. It's so despairing. It's like you've given up hope.
Ah, I didn't give up hope. Hope gave up on me.
I suppose I can never convince you otherwise.
A knock on the door interrupts them.
Who's that at the door, Mama?
I don't know. I'm off to do laundry. If you're so curious, maybe you should open the door for yourself.
Mama exits the stage.
Wow, she knows I can't. Who's there?
It's me,
Who's me?
a friend.
How do I know you're a friend and, I don't know, or a wolf?
Do wolves talk?
How should I know? I never met one.
You're silly. Do you mind if I came in? It's cold out here and you have a nice fire burning.
The door is locked. The door is closed. Obviously, it's not locked. Mama forgot to lock it. How do you know about the fire, though? How did you get in here? Did you look in through the window? Spies do that. Are you a spy?
Silly. I feel warmth from your door. That means a warm fire in a nice fireplace.
Mama!
What are you
Mama!
bragging about now?
The stranger at the door wants to come in!
Oh, good. Maybe you'll make a new friend. Now I really need to get back to my laundry.
May I come in?
I suppose so.
Giggles opens the door and enters. She sits down by Whitman.
You're silly.
Giggles reaches for Whitman's hand.
Oh,
Sorry. That's how I say hello. I didn't mean to scare you.
no, it's just a girl that a friend that I knew a long time ago used to do the same thing.
A girl?
A friend, a close friend, a best friend. Really, we used to look at the stars and we tried to find Sirius.
Whitman's voice trails off as he pauses in thought.
The brightest star there is.
That's what she would say. Can you possibly? No, that's not possible.
What's not possible?
For a minute there, I thought you might be her.
You did?
Oh, but you can't because she was blind. You couldn't have found your way home if you were blind. You couldn't have found your way here if you were blind.
Blind people can find their way, sometimes better than those who can see.
How's that?
A person who can see relies on their sight, weakening their other senses. A blind person relies on other senses and strengthens them, like faith. That's really all you need to find your way in the woods.
That's strange.
It's not strange. Even animals rely on other senses.
I'm not an animal.
It's a metaphor, silly.
Oh,
Giggles takes Whitman's hands, presses them on her face so he could feel her eyes.
there's swelling around your eyes. Like me. You are.
Like you.
Well, it's impossible that you came here on your own. Do you have anyone out here with you?
No one.
Have you traveled far?
Not really. Like you, I was lost in the woods, but I followed a trail of lemon wedges to your home. It was a path of hope.
That's impossible.
You don't need physical senses to find hope.
Well, I never thought of it like that.
Whitman's voice rises excitedly, and he gasps.
Are you all right, Whitman? You're not having another spasm, are you?
Oh, I'm just talking to my new friend, Mama.
What happened?
I don't know why, but my Sirius is beating harder than ever.
Whitman takes Giggle's hands, which is still holding his own, and presses it to his chest, as she can feel his heartbeat.
Oh, I can feel it. My Sirius is beating too.
Nutty.
It's not nutty. It means we're bonding. It's a nice feeling, isn't it?
Oh, I haven't felt this way in a long time. It's strange.
It's strange for me too. I only know one person who made me feel this way.
You do?
A boy I grew up with. We were the best of friends. We'd go out in the fields and hunt for rocks and butterflies all day. On Friday afternoons, we'd go to town and wait at the post office for hours and hours.
Because of the Wells Fargo wagon?
Yes. We'd wait and wait until that wagon bounced into town. Even if it didn't deliver anything for us, we enjoyed watching others get their packages. Sometimes a kind lady would share a lemon wedge or an apple slice with us. Lemon wedges were our favorite because they made our faces pucker up.
Giggles lets out a small giggle.
That's why we used to call her Giggles. She used to giggle like that all the time. Just like you.
Who?
My friend.
Oh, wow. I hadn't giggled like that since I was a child before my friend and I were separated.
Oh, I can't remember the last time I laughed. It must have been before Giggles and I parted.
There's a pause as both Whitman and Giggles think. Suddenly, Giggles' face lights up with recognition.
I can remember.
How can you remember? You weren't there.
I can remember because I am Giggles.
Giggles left years ago and she never came back. The sickness took her.
The sickness didn't take her. It only took her sight. Her family moved away because her father got a job in the big city far away from here.
I don't remember it like that.
It's funny how our minds play tricks on us, isn't it? Sometimes we remember things differently. Sometimes we need someone to help us remember.
Perhaps so. Giggles? Perhaps you are my Sirius? The brightest star in my life. You shine through the darkness, showing me the way out.
Do you really think so?
I know so.
It worked. You two are together again. Everybody's happy.
What?
I arranged for Giggles to come find you.
You were the one who put the lemon wedge trail out?
Yes, I remember how you two were intrigued by lemon wedges as children. I figured you still would be.
Very much so.
You do love me.
I always
No.
have, but I always have.
Someone has always loved you, Whitman. You just had to believe it for yourself.
Oh, that was so lovely. Oh, that was beautiful. We love you, Whitman.
Punch and Judy, a puppet show in one act by Luis Manuel Rivera. A puppet booth. Professor Porcini and Mr. Bottler are seen.
Me lords and ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our puppet show, the tragic comedy of Punch and Judy. Dating back to Commedia dell'arte in Italy, Punch and Judy shows have been entertaining people for 300 years. Even though he began not as a glove puppet, as we're about to present, but as a marionette or a puppet on strings. Eventually, they transitioned to glove puppets because they're less expensive to travel than marionette shows, and puppeteers can operate 2 glove puppets at once. And so, with no further ado, sit back and relax and enjoy the show.
Professor disappears into the booth.
Noble patrons, allow me to present the star of our show, Mr. Punch.
Punch pops up and dances about, clapping and bowing.
My name is Punchinello, all dressed in red and yellow. I'm such a jolly good fellow. And so says all of us. Hello, everybody. How do you do? How do you do?
Dog Toby enters.
Ruff, ruff. Hello, Toby. Ruff, ruff. What's the matter, Toby? Ruff, ruff.
Toby bites Punch's nose.
Oh, my poor nose. You naughty Scruffy.
Punch fetches his stick and hits Toby, knocking him off the playboard.
That's the way to do it.
Horse Hector enters.
Oh, what a surprise. What is that?
It's a horse, Mr. Punch.
Of course it's a horse.
How about you get on the horse?
All right.
Punch gets on Hector and goes for a ride. Hector gets jumpy. Punch falls off of Hector. Her exits.
I fell off the horsey.
Never mind, Mr. Punch.
Has anyone seen my wife, Judy?
I don't think so, Mr. Punch. You better call her upstairs.
Judy! 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 Judy!
What is it, Mr. Punch? What do you want?
Judy! Come upstairs.
Judy enters.
Here I am, Mr. Punch. Now then, what do you want?
I want, kissy.
Judy, Punch kisses Judy, who slaps him.
Stop that, Mr. Punch. You're worse than the mailman. Besides, you remember what happened the last time we had a kissy?
No.
Here, I'll remind you.
Judy exits.
Judy! Where's the baby?
The baby got his head stuck in the marmalade pot.
Judy re-enters with the baby.
Here we are, Mr. Punch. This is what happened the last time we had a kissy.
Oh, give it to me.
Punch takes the baby from Judy, holding it upside down.
Mr. Punch, you're holding the baby upside down.
Judy takes the baby, laying it on the playboard. Punch sits on the baby.
Mr. Punch, what are you doing?
I'm babysitting.
Judy hits Punch with the baby.
Mr. Punch, that is no way to treat a baby.
You look after
Judy, he gives the baby to Punch.
You look after the baby while I go downstairs so I can finish making the pudding.
All right, Judy.
I'll leave you to it.
Judy exits.
Rock-a-bye, baby, on the treetop. When the wind blows, the cradle will rock.
I've got an idea, Mr. Punch. How about you teach the baby how to walk?
All right.
Punch places the baby at one end of the booth.
Walkie, walkie, walkie.
The baby waddles toward Punch.
There's a good baby.
This is repeated a second time.
Rocky,
On
Rocky.
on the third time, the baby zips away from Punch.
Where's the baby?
As Punch searches for the baby moves about the booth. Within a moment, Punch finds the baby, banging it on the playboard.
You naughty baby.
The baby begins to cry.
Mr. Punch, is that the baby I hear crying?
The baby cries forte.
Oh, get downstairs.
Punch throws the baby down the stairs.
Mr. Punch, where's the baby? He went walkie, and then he jumped out a window. He went walkie, and then jumped out the window. What did you do to the baby? He was such a noisy baby that I threw him out the window. Mr. Punch, you do not throw babies out the window, even if they are noisy. You have abused a child, and so I'm going to give you a lesson in childcare. Now, bend over. All right, Judy.
Punch bends over.
On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Punch grabs the stick from Judy.
Mr. Punch, that's my stick. Give it to me this instant. All right.
Punch knocks Judy down.
Huh? Oh, my mother was right. I should never have married you.
Mr. Punch, you knocked down your wife, Judy.
That's the way to do it.
Policeman enters.
Hello, Mr. Punch. You are under suspicion of disturbing the peace. I have a warrant to lock you up. Well, I have a stick to knock you down.
Punch knocks policeman down.
Mr. Punch, you knocked down the policeman.
That's the way to do it.
Mungo enters.
Say, Mr. Punch, what have we here? 1 poor fellow, 2 poor fellow,
3 poor fellows.
Where's the third?
Right here.
You knocked down 3 people, Mr. Punch.
That's the way to do it. Oh, I do like to be beside the seaside. Oh, I do like to be beside the sea. Oh, I do like to stroll along the prom when the brass band plays tiddly tom tom tom.
The clown Joey enters. He waves. He sees at the audience and plays dead. Punch counts out the dead bodies. He's only to have clown move the bodies about. Clown then gets rid of the bodies. Upon noticing clown, Punch tries to hit him with a stick, only for clown to move about, grab the stick, and hit Punch with it. Clown exits.
Never mind, Mr. Punch.
Never smile at a crocodile. You cannot get friendly with the crocodile.
The crocodile enters.
What's this?
It's a crocodile.
Don't be silly. That's not a crocodile. It's a pussycat.
Punch tries to pat the crocodile, who bites him on the nose. The doctor enters.
Hello, I am the doctor. Mr. Punch, let go of that crocodile this instant.
Help me!
Help you?
The doctor opens the crocodile's mouth for Punch to get out of its grasp.
There's the crocodile free from your nose. Let us take it away.
The doctor exits with the crocodile. Punch lays on the playboard. The doctor re-enters.
Oh.
What seems to be the matter, Mr. Punch?
Oh, I'm dead.
You're dead? How long have you been dead?
About 3 weeks.
Oh, when did you die?
Tomorrow morning.
What you need is some physic. I'll go and get some.
The doctor exits and re-enters with a stick.
Here you are, a nice stick of licorice.
The doctor hits Punch.
I don't like licorice.
Punch grabs the stick.
Mr. Punch, give me back the stick. You are not a trained doctor.
Punch knocks the doctor down, disposing the body.
That's the way to do it.
A ghost enters.
I am the ghost of Judy, and I've come to seek my revenge. Ha ha! I'm not afraid of you. Well then, I shall give you a spook.
Punch hits the ghost, chasing it away.
Ah, that's the way to do it.
Pretty Polly enters.
It's Pretty Polly. Polly, dance with me. I don't want to. I insist. I don't want to. No. All right. Don't dance with me. All right.
Punch and Polly have a dance. Polly exits.
That's the way to do it.
The devil enters with a stick.
Mr. Punch, I've been looking for you. Blackguard by name and blackguard by nature. Who the devil are you? I'm the devil, you charm tug. You're coming with me. Where? There, down below. I don't want to go. You must go. Take that.
Punch and
Take that and that.
right, Punch prevails, disposing the devil's body.
Huzzah! Huzzah! The devil is dead.
The clown enters.
Bravo, Mr. Punch. Mr. Punch, bravo! Mr. Punch has killed the devil. Now we can do it as we please. And now, my friends, it's time to say goodbye. That's the way to do it.
Punch and the clown exit. Professor her appears from the booth.
And so ends our show. Now, you lot know you should never be like Mr. Punch, right?
Now then, if you enjoyed the show, then a bit of money will do us a pound of good.
The bottler passes the box for tips of money.
Yeah. That was lovely.
Very first puppet show.
Music.
That's cool. That was great.
Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, now we kind of begin the discussion. I do have a question that had come up before this performance. I was asked if there would be anybody who'd be interested in posting their performances on their own social media. And if they are, what I can do is arrange the links so that when you post, you want someone to watch your performance within our group of performances, I can give you a link that will go directly to your performance and people would see your performance first. And if they want to watch the rest, they would still be able to do that. So if you're interested in doing that, just let me know after I finish, the main edit. And then I can set up the individual links for each person's performance.
Thanks, Stephen. That sounds great.
Yeah, sounds superb. Thank you.
Because I know we do it through, Facebook. We post it and everybody usually sends, tells people, oh, you can come here. And so what I'm thinking is, if you have your own Facebook page or your own TikTok or whatever, that you could post the links there, the more social media outlets that we use to direct people to LA Play Reading, the more views it'll get.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Sure.
Yeah, thank you.
So our first performance was Should I Sing? And
Oh, that was a lovely piece, Stephen. Well done. I was going to say Michael, but I meant Mark. Sorry. Well done, Mark. Well done, Michelle.
and I was really appreciative finding out how much work Mark and Michelle decided to put into this play. It actually started with Michelle. She mentioned something like 3 months ago about Mark's appearance on one of our LA play reading shots, saying that he looked like he had been a shipwrecked sailor.
Michelle, you're muted.
And I said, oh, maybe I could write something like that. So I wrote something and I sent it to both Mark and Michelle, and they really liked it. The issue was trying to get them a month where they could perform it. So they've been waiting like for 3 months to perform this, and they actually took time to rehearse it on their own, which I
Lovely.
really appreciate.
No, that's great.
It was worth the wait as far as I'm concerned. We really had a great time rehearsing and delving into this because there's so many more layers, than meets the eye at first. And very special play, Stephen. It was fantastic.
Thank you.
And I know that it came from Tasman's play, The Flowers, Henry and Veronica.
Oh, yes, the shipwreck moment.
The shipwreck moment.
Right.
And
right.
A very highly charged sexual experience that the couple had right after their kids had left and they had empty nest syndrome. But she, obviously, the wife enjoyed herself tremendously, and the husband was like, "Oh, it was the worst thing I ever went through," and gave me silk handcuffs, and if I could have gotten out of it, I would. and it was like a shipwreck. It was your
Every
life.
night was like a shipwreck, I think the wording was.
Shipwreck. And right after that, you told me that you sat down and in one sitting you wrote this play about a shipwreck. I asked Stephen, I said, "Is there a mermaid in it?" And you said, a siren.
Oh, you looked amazing. I loved your
Great.
dress.
Well done.
Yeah, I loved your dress. And it was just a beautiful piece, especially starting with the tin can. And then she emerges, and you just think, who's throwing it back? Where is it coming from? I like that. I like that opening.
Very fairy tale-ish. Very fairy tale like theme, fantasy fairy tale feel to it. Yeah.
But I think we loved the fact that we were finding out that they had more in common in this existential tragedy out there in the ocean than they had not in common.
Right.
And peeling back the layers more and more, we found that it was, we were astonished at how much Stephen was putting in the play, and it was so exciting to keep finding out more and more that she was obviously needing something. There was obviously an attraction, and he had to hold on to his human frailty of believing what he needed to believe about her, because we all believe in our fables and need to hold on to them. So that was, and yet he was falling for her, and that dichotomy was really interesting to work with and bring out. It was just beautifully done. It was like a prose poem.
And the setting was lovely. Anything about the ocean is great. It gives you, I don't know, I don't know, some of you may agree or disagree, but I just think that if you're near the ocean, everything seems possible. Even the impossible is possible. And I think you put that line in the play, which was beautiful. And I just, the setting, and especially with the background you have. Lovely.
Yeah.
Is there some background noise? I'm sorry.
Someone talking somebody's place, but don't know where it's coming from.
But yes, well done. All three of you. Well done. That was great.
Loved it. Loved it.
Thank you, Stephen.
Thank you.
Really enjoyed it.
So our second one is Tasman.
Gonna say something really quick. I just wanted to congratulate them on their performances. I love watching the two of them work together,
Yes.
individually and together. Thank you
Oh.
for having. This is going to be so cheesy, but thank you for having your shirt open, Mark.
Believe me,
And
We saw
when I-
more of Mark than anticipated.
when I first thought about doing that, I realized, God, that's not going to be good for anybody.
Well, it was for some of
Translation.
us
Apparently
because we were
it was.
looking at it.
But I actually, what I loved though at the end, because I was questioning all the way up until the end, was he going to jump in the water and be seduced by her? What was she really
Exactly.
trying to do? Was she trying to actually get him to jump? And then the fact that no, there was some actual honesty to it, that she just was trying to help him at the end and brought that other ship, and so that was a pleasant surprise. So
Yes.
I really appreciated that and enjoyed the ending as well.
Great, thank you.
I believed her the whole time. I knew you were right, Michelle.
Thank you. It was the beauty of the play because it made it so real. I didn't feel like I had to make something real out of the cartoon. It was very real from the get-go.
Yes.
It was very Tolkien-esque.
Yes. Okay, thank you. Okay, our second one is Tasman's cornflower.
Stephen, please may I say something? Cornflower, it's Flour at the end as opposed to flowers in plant. So it's Flour. Just to let you know.
I would still pronounce it the same.
Oh yes, it is pronounced the same way. It's just the spelling. Because when we were assigned breakout rooms, you had Flower, and I just thought, oh, if you put it on the clip, then it's wrong. I just
because I actually have it in my spreadsheet as Flour.
Oh, brilliant!
So
That
I'm
is the
not sure
correct
why
one.
I did it in the
Thank you.
breakout room.
Thank you.
Sure.
Was that play on words that spelled two different ways?
She was saying that in England,
Yeah.
they say corn flour for corn starch.
Yeah.
So it was
But
corn
in this-
starch.
Oh, okay. So that's what
that.
that is. Okay. Yeah.
So this is play number, I think it says on the script 188 of 365. And I did tweak the ending because when I read it, when I read it recently, before I presented it to Susan and Corey, I wasn't 100% with the ending, so I tweaked it there. So hopefully everyone understood the ending there, because obviously she was having a horrible dream because I'm sure she was stuffing her face with the liberating cookies.
Yeah.
And then she had this awful dream that, she was going to be found out, hallucinating, and it was so over the top, I had to hold my breath. I couldn't laugh in between, especially the part where she said that she was gracefully pissing into her adult diaper.
That was well acted.
Oh, thank you
So
so
good.
much. I know.
They got my attention.
I'm just surprised Tasman knows so much about corn flour.
Do you know what? When I was writing this, I was thinking that day, oh, I do want to write about drugs, but I don't want to write about drugs in such a way that it's really sad and it's miserable. And I mean, not that I'm, an advocate of that in any shape or form, but I just wanted to make it amusing. And I just thought, I need two characters who can pull this off. So we have Mrs. Trench, we have the delivery guy who not only provides her with food supplies, but also a bit of corn flour in the box as well. And I think it's so sad as well. I kind of wanted people to warm to her a little bit as well because of the kind of life she has had. And, notes to my actors, I put in the email that she's the kind of character, Mrs. Trench, where society has forgotten about her, doesn't want her. she feels, and she does that kind of mini monologue there that when life passes you by, etc., etc. And it was beautifully acted. I mean, Susan, oh my God, there's another dimension there
Yep.
to your acting.
She gave me free reign to go over the top, so that's kind of, I'm sorry. if
It
I'm
was
too.
and when I wrote it, I was like, okay, this is a bit funny, ha ha ha, I'll just stick to it. But today, this is the first time it's been acted out, it was funny.
It's a great script, Tasman. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Pleasure, you guys. And Corey, of course, Corey, you were great, because in the beginning, I wasn't sure whether it should be just Don. And then I thought, no, we need Sam. We need a contrast here. And I thought I'd do that flip at the end. And I think that worked really well when Corey put his cap on, being the delivery guy. So he was, Don being the judgmental delivery guy turns into Sam, who brings
Love the dialect.
My supplier.
Yes.
And noticing that Tasman is getting a lot freer with those F-bombs now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Felt
I
so
honestly
good.
didn't mean it. No, it was the character. It wasn't me. Never is.
I know we have to be muted because, any background noise, we've all chosen to be muted during, but I was laughing out loud. I
Oh,
was.
thank you. Oh, that's so nice.
Writing and
What
the
was your-
performances, I was definitely laughing out loud.
Oh, Mrs. Trench. Thank you.
What was that line? Like, I'm friendly with drugs. I don't do drugs, but I'm friendly.
Oh, I
with
don't
them?
do drugs. I simply
Admire.
Admire it.
That's
That's like one of the best lines like
Yeah,
ever
I love
written. And
it.
that's like, I knew so many people in the hate when I was living in San Francisco. It was just like, I don't do drugs, but like I hang out and I admire it, and I sometimes put it in my nose and then in my lungs, but I don't really do drugs.
I dabble.
Yeah.
She said it's a different interpretation, I think. That's what
Yeah.
she was trying to justify it. There you go.
So
We love both characters. Don's dialect there coming in from the South, being kind of dumb and hick, and it was great.
Yeah, Mrs. Trench, the hillbilly.
Yeah, both of them. Just
Yeah, of course. Corey, poor you. You can't even take the box into the kitchen, even though she's got a bad back. But she's made it out to the front of her house. She's gonna look up at the big blue sky and empty her bladder, for God's sake.
That was a perfect scene.
yes.
So did you choose the name Trench for her character?
Mrs. Trench. Yes. Yes, it just came to mind. Trench. And I know of an area which is called Trench, which isn't great.
But trench is also another word for like a ditch or a gully too, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. Sure. At the time I was thinking about this area that I know of. And it's not a great area to live in. And I thought, yeah, I'm gonna make it Mrs. Trench, because you don't want to go down. What was the street name again? Flowack Street. Corey asked me how I came up with it. So Flo, FLO, part of cornflower, and then whack as in, I think that's drugs, isn't it? So I just put the two together. Mrs. Trench lives in Flowack Street. But yeah, really well done. I mean, it was just, I just want to watch the clip now. See it again. I just laugh at Mrs. Trench.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Thank
Susan.
you for asking us. It was so much fun to do.
Yeah.
I
Thank
normally
you.
don't go around saying fuck all the time, but it really was great. Damn it.
And you said that there was this other bit, and I thought it was so funny. I know I wrote it, but super fuck. What's that?
Sounds like something Mrs. Trench would say.
Yes, indeed. Thank you. Well done, everyone.
Super.
So our fourth one.
That's where the Man of Steel comes from.
So let me see, 'cause I kept switching them around. So let's see. Oh, so we're on to the third one, which was HRAR.
Puffin stuff.
From Nicholas.
So good.
Yeah, well
Oh,
done.
both of the acting was so good. I just sort of knew where it was going. Carol, you were so convincing.
Yeah.
Leslie, you're always
It's
fantastic.
the voice, isn't
So
it?
well
It's
written.
Carol's voice.
Leslie read it cold too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've never said those words out loud before you heard them.
Very good.
Chameleon comes.
And when Leslie comes back as well. She was
But Carol, I'm afraid it sounds like you're getting typecast.
Yes. I was going to say she wouldn't let me in for my interview last week.
I thought of that too.
I feel for you, Leslie. I feel for you, Leslie. I've been there.
But Carol is so good. It's her voice.
Yes.
Leslie was great, especially with the comeback. And she was like, oh,
What the?
yeah.
I had someone
Well,
wonderful to
that's
play
excellent.
with today. So thank you, Carol. And thank you, Nick, for the opportunity.
Well, thank you for pitching in because so we had I originally had Rachel for reading it and she was feeling ill and she bowed out about a couple hours ago. Well, a couple hours before we began.
Rachel is great, but you had the best too with Leslie.
Yeah.
So
The
good.
best.
I'm available for hire.
Okay. Good to know.
So
Carol, there was something about how you were looking, you were reading, it just was, it was haunting.
Yeah.
You know, there was something about your delivery. It was so careful and there were little hints and foreshadowing of what was going on. It was,
Yeah, exactly. That,
we all kind of got it.
yeah. Is she real? Is she
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
perfect?
It's a bit scary. It's the voice. It's
Yes.
Carol's
All HR
voice.
people speak that way.
Damn them.
If they take a
Don't
class,
get
I think.
Oh, but you were great, Carol. You were
Yes.
absolutely great, and so is Leslie. Well done. to
Great.
you guys.
Both of you.
Well done.
And great script, Nicholas.
Yeah, yeah, well done.
So then number 4 is Maggie's. Can you hear my cirrus beating?
Oh, what a sweet little
Oh,
piece.
so touching.
Oh, it was so lovely. And
You.
Jonathan, I have a question. Did you learn your words?
No, I just
You
No.
looked down.
I kept
Like you had your
tried-
eyes closed.
Yeah. At one point, I thought, how is he seeing his words? Because
No,
your
my eyes were
looked
open.
closed.
I could see them, but I was blurring. They were blurry, and I had them in gigantic font. And I also
Oh.
didn't really have a partner to look at
Oh,
because
wow.
why would I look at my partner?
So
So I
convincing.
was just trying to
Yes.
listen. Yeah,
Very
it was
good.
weird.
Going the extra mile because to portray the character.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that's the script.
That was
Jonathan's
great.
really
Yeah,
good.
that was
Well
great.
done.
Commitment there.
Ah.
And
And
so was
Giggle? I love
passion,
that name. Giggle.
the delight, how you brought out the feeling of that of your dashed youth and your frustration and dashed hopes and then the awakening inside of you as Amanda came back into your life and your mom being, seemingly too strict in your mind. But you brought it out in a, sort of kept unfolding it slowly. And I thought for a moment that, I could hear it in your voice catching, and I just felt it.
It was.
Thank you.
I actually wrote down on my paper, why Giggles? I was thinking, is Giggles an imaginary friend that he had when he was a kid? But I'm glad it's explained later on in the story.
Maybe she's a ghost. In
Yeah.
joke. Never mind.
Yeah.
Oh my God, imagine.
It could be left up to your interpretation of what that was.
Yeah.
When I originally had it, I thought it was more like of a friend that the mom actually brought back to him. But other people have told me that it seems like more like a ghost type of thing.
They really did. Oh, I was making
Yeah.
a joke. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's really whatever your interpretation of that is. But yeah, and it kind of leaves you a mystery too. It doesn't exactly say right out loud what it is.
I like to write that way too, is to keep things
Kind of leaves you a mystery up to your interpretation. Yeah.
yeah.
And
Cool.
yeah, I wrote this because I wanted to make a story kind of tired of hearing, not this bad, but just got tired of hearing like some of these stories are like really like dark. Like, let's bring in some, happy ones and,
Yes.
yeah, make people laugh for a little bit. So, it was during COVID when I wrote this. That's also was stormer time for everybody. So, yeah. And I got inspiration. I was just like, I want some like light happy stuff,
Yeah, quite
and
uplifting.
shows, yeah, there's a lot of hard stuff going on, but there is light at the end of the tunnel that you can get to.
Yeah.
Yep.
It felt
And I
like
just want to say thank you to Amanda and Zev because I was
Yes.
really nervous about like not looking at my partners and they were just so like on. It was like really it was cool to like listen and act with someone just through voice. So thank you both for being like just
They were
such
both
kick-ass
great.
partners.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well done.
Dev made a great
Yes,
mother.
you guys were awesome. Everybody who was cast, you all were very committed to it.
Yes.
I loved it. I could see the characters the way that I had pictured them. That was you.
Yeah.
I'm glad. I was
And-
I was worried about me.
Yeah, thank you, Zeb, for coming in last minute and do a cold reading of it. That was very
It was great.
that was
That was
challenging, I'm
really
sure.
good.
Yeah.
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 Glad that I
great
could
job,
bring
Zev.
that across.
Love the relationship between mom and her son. Her son yelling at her all the time, and she turns out to be the one who brings back the girl for him. Great.
Oh, that is not how I interpreted it. I was remarking to Maggie that this is word for word a conversation that I had with my parents. I don't have scarlet fever. It's not the 1920s, but I have a chronic condition, and word for word, I've had that conversation, and it does not feel loving. It does not feel wonderful. It made me very angry. So I really had to go in and I had to act.
Yeah,
Well
that first half, your character is like pretty irredeemable.
Yes, thank
and-
you. I was like, oh, okay.
But then she comes back and it's like, okay, there is some love there. Like she does
Yeah.
care for him, even though
My friend back.
yeah.
Yeah, different people have different ways of showing their love, and
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
you see that transition with the mama character also,
Yeah.
where she seems meaner in the beginning, and then
Yeah.
there is
And
there
she-
is some love, however she shows it.
Yeah.
Maggie, you mentioned now it's falling together. You had mentioned at the beginning this is a fairy tale, and I couldn't figure it out until this talk back now. People are saying, was she a ghost? Oh, that's a fairy tale. No, I was playing it entirely straight. I was playing it as Mama went out and got this woman and arranged it and wanted to, you can totally tell she's listening at the door, but I would actually pardon somebody who did that because it's just so cute.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And also the Hansel Gretel thing with the lemon wedges,
Yeah.
like the breadcrumbs and stuff like that. So it's kind of based off of some fairy tale stories too. I love fairy tale stories, so I always incorporate that in my plays.
It kind of felt like fairy tale, like these are like they were fairy tale characters, and this is them 20 years later,
Yeah.
and they've
Yes.
grown up. Like
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
in the world of a
This
fairy
is them
tale.
20 years later. From what they're talking about was when they were children, and now
Yeah.
they're in like their 20s around that age, young
right.
20s. Yeah, so 20 years later, yeah.
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 So Amanda, when you first read the script, how did you see your character?
Kind of just an innocent kind of someone that was still, despite the illness and the setbacks, a little bit headstrong and kind of not letting that hold her back from going forth in the world, and a little melancholy about the loss. But I think finding the trail was a bit of nostalgia for her, and the excitement of a new connection with an old friend. It was all pretty sweet and innocent.
So you always saw the character as being a real live person.
Yeah, I did. I didn't view her as a ghost because of the whole conversation that occurred. And it seemed that the mom could observe the conversation. So unless the mom was already privy to Whitman having a sort of delusion or auditory hallucination of another character, which kind of isn't referred to. It sounds like he's otherwise pretty lonely and in his bed. So that's what kind of led me to conclude, she could be real, and finding her way out to this remote house.
Ah,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
Punch and Judy. So
Oh gosh.
how did you feel it worked for you? Your presentation.
Me?
Yes.
Me?
Yes.
Yes.
I
Yep, it's you now.
Well, I believe if this was a good start.
Good.
Hurt.
Is
I was wondering what Charles II would say about this show.
Charles the Sec.
Not the
Charles the
third, the second. Because
Yes, I know Charles II, and during the Restoration.
The 17th, because obviously it came about then, didn't it? And yeah, Punch and Judy, Seaside. We call it Seaside. You would, you don't call it quite Seaside, so I have to get rid of that. Oh, bye, Amanda.
Bye, Amanda.
Lovely to see you. You did great. Bye.
And I guess.
And I just thought I could see this at the seaside, just sitting there, with some fish and chips, maybe some ice cream as well.
That's because you are British, Tamsin.
And just laughing at the absurdity of it all. And with the puppets, where is Bob?
Yeah, where did our
Bob
puppeteer
Singer?
go?
I think
He had to leave. He sent me a message that he had to leave, and he hopes everyone enjoyed
no, he
it.
was
But
so
I told him we will make comments and he can watch it back on the replay.
Oh, Bob, you were so good. Well
Yes.
done to you.
What
I
a
was-
talented voice actor. I was
know,
impressed. What a falsetto. I applaud him. I want to hear all of his stories.
He was so good. And especially, with the Brit accent there, with the police officer, I think that was quite funny.
And what
He did
about
so good.
Professor Porcini?
He was very good. Yeah. He was very good. And I love the background effect. There we go, Punch and Judy. That's the way to do it.
It's the way to do it.
And also great direction.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
I was wondering.
indeed.
I was wondering how you guys
Thank
sort of, like,
you.
stage that and block that. So it was, that was really like creative. I just love the imagination of the script overall, like just the
And-
playfulness of it.
And he
And-
might be able to
And
do
then Chuck, like MVP, like just responding the whole way, reacting to the whole thing. Like it was great. You're like,
Thank
know.
Were those
Yeah.
better, Leslie? Were those better?
Yeah, that's.
okay.
It's tough because it's such a technical
Yeah.
piece.
Yeah.
And we didn't really have a lot of rehearsals. So, kudos to them.
Yeah, well
So,
executed.
Thank you.
Well done, Lewis.
And what did you think of the dialogue?
Yes, it was. Oh, sorry. Go.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it was straight from like Punch and Judy. Like it felt like you grabbed from an existing performance from that time period. It was great to me. It was like authentic.
Well, what was that, Stephen?
Do you write the scripts? Do you also perform the puppets?
I have a box full of Punch and Judy puppets that I collected. They're in my closet.
Okay.
Oh wow.
What I was thinking, you had one person playing like 12 parts.
Yes, and
What if you could present something where you actually have a stage presentation of this Punch and Judy scene, and you either have one or two people down there with puppets doing one of your plays?
yeah.
Oh.
What if they just had people dressed as puppets too? You can
how to
even
do
do
that
that.
on Zoom though, Stephen.
Oh, yeah.
Because Luis had said that he was going to provide puppets at first, and Bob didn't realize that. And so both of them kind of had puppets. But then because Luis was doing the stage directions, and then just for Zoom purposes, we kind of had to have Bob do it, because with Zoom, whoever's making the noise is where it gets highlighted.
So that's why I was thinking, because with Zoom, it doesn't have to be two people on the screen at the same time in separate boxes. If one person can do 12 parts, and I'm sure, Louis, you must have friends who do this puppetry. Why not next time you present one of your pieces, you have those people in one room with the stage and just, that one Zoom screen instead of multiple Zoom screens, and just present it as a puppet show.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was such a great, it was such a great mix tonight. I really enjoyed it.
Yes. Any other thoughts about my play?
Other than that it was very, very good.
I kept wanting to hear Judy, Judy, Judy. I know it's not necessarily connected to Punch and Judy, but I kept wanting to hear that because he kept saying Judy, and I kept thinking, "Whoa, Judy, Judy, Judy." You could have done an imitation of what's his face?
Cary Grant.
Cary Grant, right?
Cary Grant.
So
Yeah, that was one of the famous lines he supposedly said. I don't even know if he really said it, but he.
So
But anyway.
is the line, and that's how you do it? Is that
That's the way to do it.
that's the way to do it? Is that
That's the way to do it.
That's the way to do it.
That's the way to do it.
line from Punch? Is that his standard line?
That's his catchphrase.
Okay, all right.
It's after he hits her, right, with a stick or
After he
something,
hits
right?
After he hits everybody.
A misogynistic puppet.
Yeah.
And I loved it landed today. I loved when he said, "When did you die?" "Tomorrow morning."
Yeah.
That was funny. That's great.
After everybody, I just wanted to say goodbye and thank you.
Lovely work,
lovely
work,
to see you.
Michelle, as always.
You were lovely. You were great.
Yes, as always.
It's a joy.
That's for sure.
Good luck swimming back to land.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So our,
Good for you, Chuck.
our next play is the 28th.
Hey there.
28th
of July.
Of July.
Okay.
Yeah.
20th
Hey,
July.
Stephen, I forgot to ask you, and I should have asked at the beginning. Where did you come up with the names for the two characters? I'm just curious because they were so unusual, and I saw how you labeled them in the script. Michael Ernest Beekman, it was all written out like that. And then Catherine, what was it? Catherine Bantis.
I decided a few months ago that as I wrote new characters, I would take names from the list of those people who perished in 9/11.
Oh yes, of course you said.
Wow.
So I have a list now, and when I use a name, I cross it off.
Wow,
I'm
that's
just gonna go
cool.
through that.
Nice.
Ah,
I thought your character was like that, Mark, because he was rich with his yacht. Wants a full name up there, and so
right.
Mine,
Exactly.
Catherine's was long. I didn't know.
Yeah.
And I tried to go through the list to get names that might fit the character, but
Oh, his fit. Michael's fit perfectly.
but with a siren, it probably should have been some fantasy name, but I kind of made this decision that I would.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
A little fun fact about my play: the character Professor Porcini, he was actually an actual person in real life. His real name was Giovanni Piccini.
So was he a puppeteer?
Yes, from Italy.
Oh,
During
Of course, it's right from Italy. Yeah.
During Commedia dell'arte?
no, in
Oh.
Punch and Judy.
Oh, during Judy Punch and Judy era. Okay.
During the 17 and 1800s. It's in 1827, I believe, John Payne Collier and George Cruikshank teamed together to do the first official whole script for a Punch and Judy show based on Piccini's show.
Interesting.
Good historical-
Greece is a fountain of knowledge.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, so I guess we're done, and unless anyone has anything to add.
28th is going to be tricky for me.
Okay.
So I will see you possibly in August. Well, I should see you in August, hopefully.
Okay.
I can't do 28th either. Sorry.
Oh, we'll miss you, ladies.
Oh, I miss you guys too.
You're all wonderful.
So
Damn it.
We'll get some corn flour. Get some liberating cookies.
Susan.
Yes.
I think
I
I,
know,
can be
I
there, but I'll be
know.
zooming in from another country.
You're not
Oh.
you're not doing cross.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm in actually a show on stage, which is so crazy. So I had told Henry that maybe we can do August. I would love to do the next month if we can. So
Okay.
I'm sorry.
So
I
you-
had I thought I'd sent you an email.
So you
Where are you going, Leslie?
I'll be on the 28th. I will be in Croatia.
Oh.
Lovely.
Cool.
So
Back to
it will
Croatia.
be another time zone, but I can probably zoom in from there. I've done it before. So
Oh, how fun.
I will probably be there.
Enjoy.
Brilliant. Yeah, have a fabulous time.
Everyone was great, as usual.
Yeah, everyone was
Fantastic
brilliant.
writing, acting.
Yeah.
Acting.
Thank you,
Great job,
A
Stephen.
lot of fun. Thank you,
Thanks again.
Stephen.
Leslie,
Thanks
don't
again,
forget to ask
Jasmine.
Roger
Thank you.
about Tuesday.
Thanks again, Jasmine.
Goodbye.
Thank you, Corey.
you,
Thank you,
Susan.
Susan. Thank
Bye,
you,
bye.
everyone. See you soon. Have a
Stay
great
well.
summer.
Stay safe.
Goodbye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.